Anything you want to speak to black men, black women about, go ahead,
Okay,
BC.
so black men, black women. I want to say this for real, first and foremost. Please take these bonnets off outside. For real. Like, don't wear them bonnets. And men tell them that shit stank. It smell like you been in the bed all day. My daddy and my granddaddy would tell you, you look nasty like you ain't washed your ass. And they letting the little girls do it. So you ain't even out. I seen some mamas that ain't even out there with the bonnets on, but their daughters do. That's nasty, nasty, nasty. And I need the men to tell them, quit liking that shit. Tell them.
Oh my goodness.
Tell them,
Oh,
baby, take it off. It stank. And it do. Because you sweating in your scalp. It does. It stank. I wear my bonnet to go to take a shower and that's it. It stank. It stank. Take that bonnet off.
oh my
You
goodness. Oh
outside
my
with a stanky scalp. Take it off.
stanky scalp. You got stanky
Stanky
scalp.
scalp.
Let's go. Welcome to another episode of Opinions I Like podcast. I am Mike Perkins, one half of Mike and Vince Perkins, one half of MVP, one half of Opinions I Like podcast. I find out a lot of the conversations may go one sided. And sometimes we need to kind of bring in black women I actually had this conversation with. And I'm with having the conversation. Anybody who wants to, use the platform to voice their grievances, voice any of their opinions about what they feel like is going on with regards to relationships between black men and women, to come forward. That's welcomed. Certainly, we'll let you talk. We'll let you have your say and everything. Because I think that the issues are really just based in it's been a one-sided conversation, and we need to kind of get that together. So what I've done today is that I've invited a special guest to the platform to actually kind of had a conversation and kind of move things forward. And her name is Theresa Mitchell. Gonna bring her in now. Yes.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem, Theresa. So just give a brief background of just who you are, what you do, and how is this kind of conversation and why is this kind of conversation kind of important to you?
Okay, well, I'm Theresa Mitchell. I'm 40 years old and I am currently still married to my second husband, mother of four. So, I'm a hairstylist, salon owner, mobile bartender. I'm a mentor for a nonprofit for a mentor program for young girls called the Young Sisters Elite Club that I started on my 40th birthday.
Okay.
And the reason why these two match together so well is because of the fact that I wasn't taught a lot or shown a lot as a child, about relationships with men, friends, or, other. So we had to just grow up figuring it out. And a lot of us based our adult relationships based upon our childhood, figuring it out, so my mentoring program, that's why I feel like right now is a good time because I'm still learning, every day that I'm taking classes and I'm mentoring and I'm getting mentored from the people who come in and speak to the girls. So it's making me understand like, wow, us women, a lot of us haven't been taught correctly. A lot of us have figured out life, and unfortunately it brings to a lot of heartbreak, heartache, breaking up families and homes and stuff like that. So, I'm just here to share what I've learned and what I'm still learning with
Okay.
you guys.
Okay, cool. So just to start off, first question, and I think it's an important first question. So like you grew up and you saw women doing a certain thing. How do you think that that translates into you now and how you relate to men and how you do relationships as a woman and how you relate to men, and how does it affect femininity, because you're saying women are stepping into the men's role? How do you think that that's affected your femininity, and how has it affected your relationships overall with men? I mean, and you don't have to go whether it's negative or positive, just give me like 3 or 4 things that you've noticed that
Mm-hmm.
this is how it's specifically affected my relationships with men.
Okay, so one example I'll give is we always had men in our lives, meaning my sisters or my aunts, to do things for them. You know, be it fix on their cars, be it fix on the house. We had a cable man. We had all type of men that did stuff, you know. And like I said, my mom and my aunt, they got it how they live. You know, I wouldn't say use men, but, you know, if they didn't have a man at home at the time, then they had different resources of men who were doing things for them. So with that being said, now you develop with a whole bunch of relationships with guys. So
Mm.
me as an adult, I grew up doing that. You know, building different relationship with men, having them do stuff for me in my businesses. You know, come in and do this. I got a guy to do lights. I got a guy to do, you know, plumbing. I got a guy to do this. Now, when you a woman that's like that, and yeah, like I say, my mom and them didn't have a man all the time. Well, I like a man. You know, that's why I was married twice. So
Mhm.
that was the issue with my marriage because you can't bring all of these men into your marriage that's helping. That's what your husband is there for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And at that time, I didn't understand at that time because I didn't grow. I didn't grow. But at that time, I'm like, what is wrong? He's here to help. He's a friend. Because once again, I was a child watching that happen in my family. Watching my mom, watching my aunts, watching my sister always had their friends doing things for them. You know, so that affected me big time because now in my new mindset, I realized that that's kind of like leading a man on. You know what I'm saying? Because he doing these things in hopes of getting somewhere with you. But
And two, it's one of those things, and you know, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's one of those
mm,
things. Whereas if you are a woman and your man doesn't necessarily, for instance, fix cars, right, and you need
mm-hmm,
your car fixed, and you got a guy who fixed your car whilst you were single, or you know, just you got a car guy, it it's it's not necessarily that it's emasculating necessarily, right? Because I think
mm-hmm.
that's going far, but it it creates a commotion because we know how guys operate. No dude is fixing your car for the low for nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? You
Well,
know,
we
like
don't be thinking that.
no,
We
no, no,
just
but
being
that's
nice.
it's like it creates more drama than we need in order to like it's already going to be hard to be with a woman anyway because relationships are just hard. That's just what they are. It creates more of a commotion and another layer of damn, I got to deal with this too that you don't as a dude you don't kind of want to deal with. It's like, well, I don't want to deal with this too because I know he wants what he wants because if I was fixing her car, I'd want the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like it creates a different another layer of thing that we kind of don't want to deal with. So if your man doesn't fix cars necessarily, how about we discuss going to the mechanic somewhere else that you don't know like that? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
solution, for example. But you keep going, keep going.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but as an adult, even in my adulthood, I didn't understand that that was an issue. So that could have been a big issue, which now that I look back, it was an issue in my marriage, you know, because, you know, it's just like, hey, you know, my sister does it to this day. She just met a guy and she's like, hey, we got a new homie in the family. He does this, and that. And I'm like, no,
Wow.
I'm trying to keep a man. You know, I can't have all these friends anymore, you know, but I'm thankful that I was able to learn that. But as a child, you know, you see it and you just do it. It's like it becomes you.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
don't even pay attention.
Right. And two, specifically, how has your upbringing affected femininity? Specifically femininity. Like when you say that you've seen women in men roles or
Hmm.
expressing masculine, you know, doing masculine things, how has that affected your femininity specifically?
Okay, so it's funny that you say that because I just spoke about this at my meeting yesterday with my young girls. We tend to take care of guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, even though my family may have had friends, you know what I'm saying? We're lovers. We have a soft heart. You know what I'm saying? So I've always seen my family members, you know, hey, he needs somewhere to stay. Let him go ahead and come on in. You know, maybe he'll fix something around the house and stuff like that. You know, so really I'm looking at that. But now that I'm an adult, you taking care of a man. You know what I'm saying? You're taking care of a man. So I watched my mother and different family members. I don't want to keep saying mom, you know, bring in guys and help them get on their feet. So like we got a little homeless shelter going on or something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always doing that. So now in my adulthood, you know, it's like I became the male figure. Because when you're doing it in a relationship, it's different than looking out for somebody.
Right,
So
right,
us
right.
women, we tend to bring them in. Oh yeah, I'm gonna lift him up. I see so much in him, and da 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 da. When in reality, we're being the man. They supposed to see that in us. They
Mhm,
supposed to be
mhm.
like, I see something in her, and I want to, give her these flowers and bring her up and make her bloom. But a lot of us women who were raised in those homes, those families that took care of people, we don't see that. We see that we have to be that person, and we never really let those type of men in to take care of us because we're so used to being the provider. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Do you think though, because like a lot of times, like I mean, I don't know if you've, what I mean, how many episodes you've seen. A lot of times I like to stick with a lot of numbers because the numbers kind of give you a broader view of what it is that's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the numbers suggest that the kind of guy that would do those things, like that would bring you up, that would be a provider,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a good dad, that would be all of these things that women typically say that they want. It The numbers kind of suggest that they're the majority and not the minority. Do you think it has a lot to do with, like, do you think that that mentality makes women sort of pick lesser guys?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely, because we want to be that provider. You know what I'm saying? We want to be that provider, especially because we saw that. We saw that. So we picked those type of guys. We don't even see after the guys that's going to take care of us. We
Mm,
kind of blinded. You know what I'm saying? We kind of blinded because we want to be that provider.
Yeah, it makes it, and just because just seeing that, because like again, numbers, a lot of the numbers suggest like women are pick like they're 51% of black men don't have kids, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
just that's an alarming number. I didn't know that, but like
Wow.
more than 80% of black women do have kids. So it's just like, hold up, like they're picking the same guys. And like, I guess for me, when I hear numbers like that and I hear you talk, it sort of gives context to the numbers. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's a mentality that's not. I mean, it's not because you're bad people, because I don't think black women are bad people, but it's just
Amen.
decision making is like it's based in upbringing because you see this, thus you do it.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's
And that's, I
very
mean, and I
interesting.
can believe that because, like I said, I have girlfriends, of course. And of course, like you said, my upbringing wasn't bad. It was just different. It was
Mhm.
different and it shaped me to be who I am. But, I look at my girlfriends who did have a different, quote unquote, nicer upbringing, and they do consciously go to the guys that's the provider. You know what I'm saying? They're talking to friends like me, like, girl, please, you ain't about to da 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 da. And we don't see it. We
Right.
don't see it because girl, I love him. But he da 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 da. She like, no, you really need to look the other way. You get what I'm saying? But it's the upbringing. I'm sorry, but it's the upbringing.
Yeah, and just and that's a good point to kind of transition into the next question, because you said sometimes you have girlfriends that have nicer upbringings or different upbringings from yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and they sort of speak to why are you making that decision, like you shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
picking a guy like that. What Give me some ways that black women together can hold other black women accountable, and I asked this question like just recently, what I mean, it's a little dated, but it's been within the last couple of weeks. You had a situation where it's the young lady Sha'Carri Richardson, right? You know who that
Mm-hmm.
is, right? She
Yes.
she was running, that baby was running faster than everybody. I mean, she was
Mm-hmm.
killing it. She was pointing at the clock like
Mm-hmm.
30 meters ahead of everybody. Like she was
Mm-hmm.
killing it. And she tested positive for weed,
Mm-hmm.
and they took her, they took her off the team. She couldn't run. Of course, I always love it when, anybody black is running in the Olympics. This is always dope.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody always is black representing to the foot. I mean, we had a young lady, maybe like it had to be the last Olympics, and she won the freestyle. You know what I'm saying, for swimming. It's just like sometimes it's just like, wow, that's just amazing. You know what I mean? Of course, Simone Biles, even far back as Jackie Joyner Kersey, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. It's always cool to see. But it's like when I think
Yeah.
about this situation, I didn't see black women by and large saying, hey, even though we wanted to see her run, like she did break a rule. And
See? I'm that woman. See, I was so mad at her. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I was her auntie, cousin, sister. I'd have been like, sis, come on.
Mhm.
Like, I understand that you just had your mama pass, but they looking at you. You got the lashes, you got the nails, you got the tattoos, you got the hair. I'm one. You get what I'm saying? I've been that person. And don't get me wrong, because I did grow and I was different with a different mindset. But baby girl, you are here. You got these girls looking at you. I was so disappointed. I was so
Mhm.
disappointed. I ain't gonna lie. I was very disappointed
Would,
because you know better.
do you think, like, in that situation specifically, like, do you find that there's a, like, do you feel like you're the exception, or you're the minority, I should say, not exception, that
Yeah,
you're the minority in wanting to hold that kind of, and I don't even want to say behavior, because really, who know, I don't know her as a person, but
yeah,
that kind of action, accountable. And two, also actions like picking guys who are not necessarily the best for you. Do you find that you're in the minority trying to hold women accountable for those decisions?
yeah,
Hey, you pick
yes,
that guy, you are going, this is going to go bad. And if it does go bad and ain't all men, you pick them.
yes, yes. I do feel that way for real. And it's crazy. It got a lot to do with my grandfather. My grandfather raised me. His name was Lehman Jones Sr. And we talked like best friends. And he used to keep it 1,000. First with the Shakari situation. I don't know how to pronounce her name. He
Shakir,
would have Shakiri. I'm sorry. Sorry.
it's all good.
But he really would have been like, own your shit, which is what she did. She owned her shit, and that was it. Everybody should have just left it alone. Quit trying to make excuses. She owned it. She stepped up. That was it. Let that girl be. She knew what it was. Now y'all trying to make it different because that's that fake following world. I hate how the world be following. You know what I'm saying? They stick to one thing. No, have your own point of view. It's rules. It's rules, and you broke the rules. That's it. That's done. I didn't have to take some L's in my life because I broke the rules and they hurt. They hurt. They may be embarrassing, but you have to deal with it. It's called life.
Yeah.
It's
What
called life.
well, how is there a way, and that was the question, is there a way, because look, clearly, what I'm saying, black women are not necessarily listening to black men at the moment. Is there a way that black women, because you all understand your actions and understand each other a lot better, is there a way for you all to have a universal understanding of accountability? Is
Yes,
there a way?
all it's called is having a conversation with each other with grown women. Once again, my mentoring program, that's what we do. We really have grown women conversations, and it's a blessing for me in my new mindset because when I listen back, when I'm listening to these conversations now, I'm thinking back like, man, if I'd have heard that some months ago, I would have been like, ugh. But that's because of the non-community. You know what I'm saying? Now we're building a community of positive influences to where we got women that's gonna say it. Listen, this is what you need to hear. Oh, well, on your shit, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror at yourself. We had too many followers. I know I did too many followers. Oh, you doing good, girl. Keep it going. So I couldn't have heard the positivity. You know what I'm saying? Because I was too busy blocking it with the other people that was brought up like me. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't listening. So if I'm with them, I'm not listening either. It's until you have to separate yourself into a different community around different people, and that's when we can grow. We can't grow doing the same thing because honestly, when I talk to them women in my salon in that room in there, it's so naked and so true. They wouldn't say half the shit that they'd say to their homegirl that they'd say
Mhm.
to me. You know what I'm saying? So if you take them and put them in small groups and have these conversations, we'll build a better community. It's good women out here. It's a lot more than what the statistics show. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more because I hate the statistics only because everybody don't follow that shit and everybody
Well,
don't fill it out.
well,
And I talk to
well,
people. I have
I
real
push.
conversations.
Well, this is the thing. I push back on it. I push back on people who reject numbers,
No,
because
no, no.
we
I don't
gotta.
reject them. I don't reject them. I don't
Go ahead.
reject them. What I'm saying is people I know don't do them. It's a whole world of people who don't even fill out no census and they have conversations and they
Some of
need
these are
to.
not. Some of the number. At least some of the numbers. Well, all the numbers that I get, they're not based on census. They're based on population. So, like, for example, when you talk about 64% of black men being in the middle class or higher. Well, that's
Mhm.
not based on the census. That's based on the numbers, like the data, like everybody who files taxes, for example. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it's based on that. It's based on the population. Like there's 22 million, black women, and there's 20 million black men. That's just based on population. A lot of the
I get
numbers
it.
that I like, a lot of the numbers that I like to at least when I do look up numbers, I like to
Okay.
go with the ones that are based on population, not based on surveys. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a survey, it's a poll out right now. Like the 25%, basically 25% of men and women when polled said, hey, they've cheated. You know what I'm saying? Or they're
Mhm.
currently cheating or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like are women telling the truth? Are men telling the truth? Who knows? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I I tend to lean toward that more so
I
than
mean,
listen to
because yeah,
people.
yeah, you gotta have something to base everything off of. I get it, but
Right,
I'm
right.
out here in these streets talking to people, bartending, doing hair, talking to their kids, talking to their baby daddies, and people are a mess. People are a mess, and they have not been taught. And there's some people that's good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not saying people bad, blah, 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 some people good, but what I'm saying is the good ones want to be with the good ones. You know what I'm saying? But it's just so much negativity and so much.
I find that though, like it's like, and with all due respect to the circles, the people that you may see, like for me, for example, when I do school, when I'm in school, I see people who want to study. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? When I'm at a bar, I see people who want to drink. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? When I'm, getting my haircut, I'm at the barbershop, I see people who want to get a haircut. It's like when you are in these places, sort of the environment kind of dictates the behavior or the opinion. Because when you were in a barbershop, for example, if I'm in a barbershop, well, it's a lot more brash opinions in there because it's encouraged. But probably when they're at home with their wives, they say nothing. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's just like just with all due respect to
Mhm.
the spaces that you say you're hearing people, it might be more of the environment than
No,
it
we
is
have
anything.
personal conversations though. I have a lot of personal conversations, one on one.
Okay,
I
but
do hair. I do hair
that
private,
you do
one
hair
on one.
private.
Yes, one client at a time.
What
So
client?
people, yes, sir. Nobody's waiting. Nobody's listening. We get deep.
Okay, cool.
I'm a therapist.
And make sure you don't record none of these
Oh, I don't. And the way we talk about don't never
client
go nowhere. I don't use nobody in no example, because a lot of times I'm just helping them figure out what I've learned. You know what I'm
client
saying?
client patient confidentiality. That's what it's called.
Yes, yeah. I mean, sir.
Sir, I know this hair is
I'm used to
it's
saying ma'am because I've been
confusing
hearing
you,
this a lot. I'm sorry. We talk
but
about hair,
I
so
am certainly
no,
a
I know.
man in here.
I know.
So
I know.
and then finally, how can black men what can black men do, if anything? If
Mhm.
anything, you know what I'm saying? Because some of this we can't do at all. Like some of this is just like, hey, black women got to kind of figure it out on their own. They're not kids, you're grown-ups, you know what I'm saying? And it's y'all's duty to do the thing that you're gonna do, whatever. But how can we help, in, for example, the situation with a Sha'Carri Richardson, or the situation with the Bonnets, or any number of situations, whereas black women have been put in a position to either say, okay, we're going to be accountable here, or we're going to claim sexism and racism. How can we as men help women in the accountability piece? If there's anything that we can actually do, if there's nothing we can do, then I'll accept that. But how can we
Yeah,
be
it's really
helpful?
nothing. It's really nothing that you can do besides listen. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes be more sensitive when you're talking, or really, that's what comes to the friendship. Be 100. Talk to them. Let your girl know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it. You got to just talk and listen, because y'all are men. Y'all not gonna understand what we understand. You know what I'm saying? Especially our sensitivity level. So to me, you just gotta communicate and listen. And
No.
then speak your mind too. You got to tell her how you feel. Because sometimes, like with the Bonda situation and the Sha'Carri situation, they listening to their girls. They listening to other people, or they scrolling on social media like, oh, I'm gonna like that and I'm gonna say that too. They really don't mean it. They just liking it because everybody else. But if you having a conversation with her, That's helping.
Right. I find too that like a lot of times when I'm having, because when we do, you know what I'm saying, when we do a lot of these episodes, you know, a lot of them are based in, you know, talking about relationships and things of that nature.
Okay.
I find that people are really, really brash in their opinions of what we say. But when I had a conversation one-on-one, it's not really that. And it's not because the energy has changed or because they're scared. It's, or, you know, they're scared to say this or say that. It's because I'm saying it to them and them only, and they're not talking at a screen or their phone. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, hey, I get what you're saying. I do actually get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not less, because like more just recently, I had a rant about how that this platform, this kind of content that we put out and that other, you know, content creators put out, it's not about hatred for Black women. It's about giving you the information that people aren't giving you, because people aren't telling Black women the truth at all. Like that's not happening.
They ain't.
You know what I'm saying? And I want, like, because I'm gonna probably pick a Black woman. I mean, I'm from the west side of Detroit. What else is there? You know what I'm saying? But a Black woman. And just furthermore, that's my preference anyway. I'm gonna pick a Black woman. Right. Right. I'm gonna pick a Black woman. So I likely want a Black woman who is in touch with the reality of her situation, as opposed to one who's in Disney. You know what I'm saying? Disney
Plus. That's why I said communication. And it's for real with being sensitive and trust. So that's what I'm saying. The whole basis of this is even friendship. Being communicated, you have to communicate in a sensitive way so that I can know that you mean it for me. You get what I'm saying? Like you said, they understand it better when it's me and you talking. That's why I say in that room, they can say shit. They can be talking on their girl on the phone with their girl. They hang up and I have a whole conversation like, you said your nigga did what? Get her together. And she'll be like, dang. And I'd be like, now call your girl and tell her that you was wrong. But you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that once I done had this conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? So people need to just talk and be 100. They don't be being 100 with they self.
But I'm never like a fly on the wall. Sometimes I'm in a situation and I hear women talk about their men and what they've done and this, that, and the third. And just to listen, it's the most lifetime special stories that I've ever heard. Like, and you would swear, and then you see this guy, the guy that they've been talking about, like, you know, he was trash, and you see him and he's the most normal dude in the world. It's just like, well, baby, like, you just told me this. And then it just makes you wonder how your woman is speaking about you when you're not around. It's like, oh crap. You know,
but
like,
it depends on the type of woman you got. It depends on your woman.
But I do find that having related stories is, look, not all, but having relatable stories when women are talking is a very big deal. Like, oh, your man did what? You know what I'm saying? My man.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you what my man did. Oh, you think your man's stupid? My man's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a one-up thing to where, I mean, like, I get it.
See, I'm Theresa. I'm sorry, but I'm different. I'm not that girl. Like, that's why I know that I'm a different person. I know the Lord put me in the position to be who I am for a reason, because I'm that one, like, so you gonna call your nigga a bitch ass nigga and you about to suck his dick and you call him a bitch ass nigga, so you the bitch. And they used to be like, but T, no, I'm just saying. Oh, I'm sorry, can I feel? I'm sorry.
No, you got it. Everybody's an adult here. My mama might be listening, but like, whatever.
But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be telling girls, like, that's bold. Like, don't say that, because I'm that type of woman. And my grandma raised me like that. I'm not about to call my man no bitch, because now I'm fucking a bitch. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not. I never have, because now I'm going to look at you that way. So I haven't been that girl.
Or just really, just how about this? How about calling a man, like, look, on average, women can't beat men up. Like, it's just not a thing. You can't beat men up. So, like, say it again.
We think we can.
Man, you think you can, you can't. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if y'all the same height, weight, everything. Like, it just, that's not a problem that either one of us want, right? You don't want to get beat up and we don't want to beat you up. Like, that's just, nobody wants to have any kind of physical confrontation. To suggest that any man is weak is just a bad move. You know what I mean? Like, when I hear women do that, it's cringy. It's like, oh my goodness, do you know what kind of position? Because not everybody has common sense. So some of these dudes may be like, you find some idiot off exit 9, he might tighten you up. You know what I'm saying? Every time I hear women do that or say that, you know what I'm saying, or emasculate their men, I get real kind of like, I'm like, oh baby, don't do that to them, because because he's the father of your kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's the man of the house. He has a lot, like he has a lot on him because the pressure for us, I mean, like, realistically, protection is not
Yeah.
the sense of protection. It's the idea that if it came to it, I have to die for you. And this
Right.
same guy who has to die for you, you calling him out his name? Like,
Yeah. I
oh,
don't like that.
yeah, that kind of thing really is it makes me very, very weary. Like it's cringy. It's very cringy. But
Listen, can I tell you a story? It's bad too. It's
if you hit
bad.
me with a story, I might put this in the beginning. Go ahead.
It's bad. The girl was in the salon and your cousin was a part of it. I
Oh
can't
wow.
say no
So,
names, just part of it.
yeah, just
So the
just
girl
protect
was
the innocent. Protect the innocent. Go ahead.
yeah, so the girl was in there talking about her boyfriend so bad. And like my salon had two parts. So she like, yeah, his ass and da 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 and da da da. And she knew he was on his way to drop off some food to the salon. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you talking about this man? And he walks in while she's talking about him. And like in the back of the room, in the whole salon, like you can hear her through the whole salon. It was so
I'm sure
embarrassing.
she was loud.
Yes. And then so after he came in, gave her the food, said whatever, and left, she gonna get mad at my friend, like, why you didn't tell me he was coming? What we gotta tell you he coming for? Why is you talking about your man anyway in the whole salon full of
Wow.
everybody?
That's you. Like
You
I say,
trifling.
it gets to a point, and this is the thing
And
as
you
well.
still with him.
Still with him too. This is the problem I have with like a lot of because you'll hear women complain about men. It like there's a poll, and again, I know you don't like these numbers or whatever.
Well, okay, hold on, pause. Let me tell you why.
You go ahead.
Because I've dated, well, not dated, since I've been talking to guys recently since the pandemic. Guys been hitting me with these numbers and these statistics and da 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 da, and listening to Kevin Samuel. And I'm like, listen, y'all being too negative right now. Y'all in a negative place, not you, but a lot of the guys, they're in a negative place. Like they reading these stats and it's making them feel like, I'm like, dog, go to the county and meet somebody. You might meet a nice chick. You reading these numbers and it's getting in your head. Not you, but I'm talking about the few guys.
I'll tell you this. This is the basis of the numbers. Sometimes it's about who you picked, and sometimes it's about the picking, right?
Yeah.
The pickings. So that, for example, if you're a woman and you can't find a man with a decent job with benefits, well, the numbers bear it out. It's kind of more of us with that than without it. So if you can't find a man with decent benefits, and you know what I mean, in a decent job, then it's probably because those guys don't want you. Now, it on the flip side of that, what the numbers are kind of suggesting sometimes is that women pick a certain way and it's not giving them the results that they want. You know what I mean? So like women typically pick men who are taller, make more money, have more resources, and that are older. That's just how women pick. What is lending itself to though is that women are only picking 40% of dudes. Only 40% of dudes are fathering 100% of the kids. Like it's not like even the number I gave you with regards to how many of us are fathers and how many of y'all are mothers. It's like the numbers are suggesting that y'all are just picking the same guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like for them, I get their angst. You know what I mean? Maybe they should articulate it better. You know what I mean? Maybe they should articulate. But
or maybe you should not say that while you're dating black women, black women that, black
don't
women
date a woman and say those things. Have the conversation.
Didn't even date. Yeah, we couldn't even we couldn't get past the conversation if you're talking like that.
Like me and you are having the conversation. Yeah. We're not on a date.
Yeah.
We should be talking like
and
this.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, no, like,
right. We shouldn't be dating like that. So they have. But this is the thing. It's been 40 years of niggas ain't shit. It's been 40 years of niggas ain't shit.
So now we got to deal with the females ain't shit. So
for 1 year.
For 1 year, we got to.
1 year, you don't want 40 years.
I'm gonna get a
40
whole
years of waiting to exhale.
That is some good, and they're gonna be right in here next time.
40 years of 40 years of waiting to exhale. What's love got to do with it? Purple, color purple, all the Terry McMillan stories and all that stuff, and then 1 year and women are dying.
Because y'all mean, I'm like, dang, I ain't even dating for real. They like black women is y'all.
How do you think black men felt
I don't want to wear bonnets
years?
Outside. Like, dang.
How do you think black men felt for 40 years?
I'm sure y'all felt horrible. I never was a man basher. I love men.
Come on.
Hooray,
Precy.
Black man for sure.
Precy, you you participated. You
No,
partake.
I ain't never been man
Every
bash.
woman.
I would cheat, but I ain't man bash. Actually, because I love me a man. Now that's a whole
You know
nother
what? You know what?
conversation.
It seems as though, and this is not me trying to call you. It seems as though every woman I talk to is the exception. That is
Of
a
course.
very. Say it
Of
again.
course, we're gonna all feel that way, but then you got to figure that out. You got to be the one to be like, nah, but her, yeah. But you know,
But
everybody
see,
gonna say it,
but
but
that's
you'll
how.
get it from the conversation.
But that's what that's what I feel. See, like I feel like, okay, cool. Now I got to figure out if you are the actual exception, and that's like, either I got to think you lying, I got to think you telling the truth, and every woman is like, well, I don't do that. It's like, well, so all of these movies that and all these magazines and books that made all these billions of dollars, nobody was supporting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, every woman can't be the exception. Some of y'all was in on the men bashing, but like I say, 40 years of that, you know what I mean, in comparison to just this last year of really not hating or bashing women, because really most of it is just, this is now okay. That's not working. This is not working. Let's do something different. Most of it is that, you know what I'm saying? That's not working. Let's do something different.
Now,
And
don't get me wrong. I think we did need a shift, though. I ain't gonna lie. I do think we need a shift because it was too much happy wife, happy life. It was too much of everything that she say. Da 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 da. I get it because women were getting out of hand, for real. I'm going to admit we were getting out of hand. Don't get me wrong.
Were you participating in the Happy Father's Day to me stuff?
Nah, hell no. I always I was the one who always still put my kid's father up there because, you know, I didn't have these 4 children by myself and they are still in their life, be it paying for something, picking them up, dropping them off. They know who their father is. So I tip my hat to that. As long as your kids know you, that's what matters to me.
Yeah, because that thing is really, that's
no,
really,
I never know Happy Mother's Day to me. No.
I mean, it's like in the Black community, like Father's Day is just Mother's Day light. It's just a light Mother's Day.
See, I am an exception. See, on Father's Day, I used to do a scavenger hunt for my husband. We ain't had no kids together. You know what I'm saying? With all these different gifts and stuff, and he didn't care.
Yeah, that's sweet. But I mean, really, because really, you know, Father's Day, typically the NBA Finals is going on. So, like, if you give us our favorite beverage and just shut the hell up for 3 hours, like, you know what I mean? Because the game is probably on. The game is usually on during Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? It's a Sunday. I'm pretty sure the game is on. Give us our favorite beverage and give us some time to ourselves. What's some of the black female fuckery, if you will, that you do participate in, and be you know, use discretion. Like, don't tell me nothing I don't, you know, that I gotta edit out.
The black female, like against men,
stuff that you know we complain about, that you do, that
I do
stuff that you do that you know we complain about, but that you just do anyway because it get, you know, it's just what you do.
Well, my ex used to hate when I would put the tissue on backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like the wrong way on the thing. He used to be like, why is it like
this is what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to make yourself damn near perfect.
No,
not that. I'm talking about
that
the
used to get on his nerve. Like,
I'm talking about the stuff we as men, as a unit, that we complain about as a collective, that, you know, we complain about, that you participate in it, i.e. the Happy Father's Day to me because I'm both mommy and daddy. Like, you don't participate in that.
No.
What black female fuckery, what BFF do you participate in?
I can't really say. For real,
we gonna end it on that. I'm gonna put it in the beginning.
I don't know.
Reese, purge yourself.
Purge yourself. Other than the male friends, like they get on.
Okay. So male friends.
Yeah, the male friends. Definitely male friends.
Okay, so the male friends thing. And do you process that situation as, oh, he's just insecure? Or
At first I did. I'm like, he just insecure. Why are you mad? I don't want him. He doesn't want me. Like, why are you insecure? Like, I didn't understand that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, I almost got slapped one day at the gas station because the personal trainer gave me his card. And I'm like, thank you. He like, don't you got a trainer? I'm like, yeah. You know, thank you. So, sorry. I didn't know it was going to be upset.
That's what we like to do over here with the Brothers Perkins. What we like to do is we like to enlighten women that you don't want to keep doing that kind of thing, because not that I endorse anybody being slapped, but you might lose your nigga. You know what I'm saying? You might lose your nigga. You might just be like, you know what? The personal trainer, you with the personal trainer, that's cool. You know
oh yeah, okay. So that is the thing. I guess being too friendly to guys, like I almost got I was giving the
yeah,
guy a balloon,
but that's
and yeah,
but that's the thing. That's the thing. And most
yeah.
like when you talk to women about that, it's always the default is he's insecure. But it's just like we know how each other think. So it's like, this nigga's not your friend.
Yeah, I used to be like that. I did. I used to be so mad, like, why is he so insecure? But now, with my new mindset, I
New
understand.
mindset. You
I don't need no friends.
You keep telling me new mindset. I'm gonna. A lot of y'all be saying new mindset. I want to
No,
believe
for
all of
real.
y'all.
No, I'm so serious. It's
I
like
believe
I
you.
don't know what it is. It's like a mirror comes across you, and you got to look in the mirror. I didn't like looking in my mirror. Oh no, no, no. I did not like looking in my mirror when I had to see myself for who I was, as far as like what I thought was secret. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a little secret life going on in my own head. Yeah, that no. So yeah, you do, and it's a blessing when you do see different for real. Everybody don't get a chance to. Like you said, common sense ain't common. So it's like a different level of common sense that, you know what I'm saying? When you see different, it's a different level of growth. Like, oh, that
I
was
think
the whole
I
shit
was
right there.
participating in the black female fuckery.
The whole shit. I was participating in the whole shit. That's what
Right,
I
right,
was.
right,
See, I
right.
was too busy trying to be the perfect wife because my grandmother showed me that. So that's why a lot of stuff I wouldn't do, for real. A lot of stuff I wouldn't do to disrespect my man because I wasn't taught to disrespect my man. But secretly, my secret life was just different. So you wouldn't know that I was disrespecting you. You get what I'm saying? You didn't know that I was whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
that's
Well,
why I'm different.
all right. What we gonna do? We gonna end it on. Is there any last things that you just want to leave us with regards to this
Yes.
conversation? Anything you want to speak to black men, black women about? Go ahead,
Okay,
BC.
so black men, black women. I want to say this for real, first and foremost. Please take these bonnets off outside. For real. Like, don't wear them bonnets. And men tell them that shit stank. It smell like you've been in the bed all day. My daddy and my granddaddy would tell you, you look nasty like you ain't washed your ass. And they letting the little girls do it. So you ain't even out. I seen some mamas that ain't even out there with the bonnets on, but their daughters do. That's nasty, nasty, nasty. And I need the men to tell them, quit liking that shit. Tell them.
Oh my goodness.
Tell them,
Oh.
baby, take it off. It stank, and it do, because you sweating in your scalp. It does. It stank. I wear my bonnet to go to take a shower, and that's it. It stank. It stank. Take that bonnet off.
Oh my
You
goodness. Oh
outside
my.
with a stanky scalp. Take it off.
Stanky scalp. You got stanky
Stanky
scalp.
scalp.
All right. All right. Well,
All right,
thank
thank
you
you for
again,
having
Reese.
me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by. This is Mike Perkins, and this is the Opinions I Like podcast. Thank you.